Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let's begin our daily show on calls that will help you on the technical part and the fundamental part of portfolio that you have. Sometimes you do make a mistake in terms of buying the right share at the wrong price or buying the wrong share at the right price, and it requires a lot of technical inputs to have that corrected. Our guest today is Miss Avni Bhatt, Senior Vice President for Equity Derivatives and Research at JM Financial Services. Namaste Avni to you and a very warm welcome. We are fortunate to have the Nifty above 25,000 now. Do you think that the tide has turned for the better, or is there a possibility of the market testing 24,700?
Good afternoon, Shell, and a very good afternoon to all the viewers as well. So Nifty is, all technical and derivative parameters are indicating to a range-bound consolidation, some time correction in the range of 24,750 on the downside and 25,250 on the upside. So it's a buy on dips and sell on rise market.
Okay, wonderful. So you buy the dip towards 24,700, and where do you sell?
So the first support point currently is at around 24,870 to 900 range. So around 24,900 I'll be a buyer with a stop loss of 24,750. And on the upside, 25,200 would be the selling point with a stop loss, a very small stop loss of 25,250.
Okay. Avni, since it's the festivities around us, let us start with some good news. Swarnika Edurla is writing. She's from Andhra Pradesh and has bought Skipper. The stock actually hit a record high today. And she says that she's in profit to the extent of 50%. That means her purchase price was somewhere like 230. She wants to know whether to book profit or to remain invested.
So I believe the entire gambit of this particular stock is to stay invested. You can keep trailing your stop losses on the higher side, and the day there's a close below the previous day's low, that will be the first point of worry. Till then, I think this rally is going to continue. So now you can trail your stop loss to around 552 and keep holding the stock.
Okay. So Skipper, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned earlier, is at a record high 576. The stop loss, you say, Avni, should be 552. Should she exit the entire quantity, or can she hold maybe 25-30% for the long term?
No, I think you should hold the entire quantity for the longer term, and on if at all the trailing stop loss gets hit, you can book out around 50% quantity.
Okay.
Because the trend is positive, so some kind of retracement may be seen. You can buy it at lower levels, the remaining 50%.
Okay. So that's a wonderful advice for Swarnika. Please hold 50% for long term portfolio and keep 552 as a stop loss for the remaining 50, and even if that 50 is available cheaper, then get back into the counter. Sarla Ballim writes from Vijayawada, Avni, and she wants to know the entry price of another multi-bagger, which is Philips Carbon Black, now known as PCBL Limited. The counter is now sub 500, all time high is 515. In June, the counter was at 210. What do you think, company, should be the strategy? Should you chase momentum here?
So see, on daily charts, from a trading perspective also, I think the stock has seen a decent correction, a decent retracement. Some more downside left in the stock. It may come down to around 480, 482 levels. That would be a good re-entry point. So if you're already holding in good profits, I think keep holding. You can average it, you can add more quantity. If at all it comes to around 480, 482 levels.
Okay. There is something right up for your expertise, Avni, on National Aluminium, and this is an options trade. Our friend Mr. Moria from Bangalore has purchased the 230 call expiring on October 31st at 6 rupees 5 paisa. Let us see whether he wants to know, should he add more. So at the moment the 230 call is trading at 630 only, 6 rupees 30. What would be your view? The counter is at a record high. What should be done?
So see, ideally, when you want to trade options, the movement has to be quick, immediately, and a furious move. Only then
Yes.
your option trade is going to give you decent amount of profits. So currently today it opened with a gap down, but from there we are looking at some kind of retracement. It's better to exit this particular call and re-enter because it's not going to, the stock is not going to move one way on the higher side, so it may come down to around 221, and by then, even if you purchase the call again when it comes to 225, even then you may get it at a cheaper rate. So ideally, on the options front, you will get an re-entry price of around 3.75 to 4 rupees. That's when you can enter. From current rate, I think it does call option may depreciate a little more.
Okay, so exit is the strategy. And Moria, one good thing to note as far as options are concerned, you don't buy an option when the stock is up for the 4th day in a row. That basically means that you are buying froth, and you are buying more premium than what ideally should be the price. Don't chase record highs. It's always better to get a swing trade, which is you have 4 or 5 days of fall and then you probably get into it. So that's the view on Nalco. We have Anush writing in from Karimnagar, Avni, and this is a long term counter which has created immense wealth called Honda Power, Honda India Power. He wants to know the entry level and what should he do, what should the price be 1 year from now. 4071 already for you. I remember this counter at 1100 or so rupees about 10 years ago, and let us see what Avni suggests. Is this something to get into for the longer term, Avni? What are the charts telling you?
So first of all, congratulations for picking up such a beautiful stock. And yes, it has rallied quite a bit. Some bit of retracement is on the cards from current levels. So if you want to re-enter, you want to average, or you want to add more, wait for around 3,780 level, 3,780 to 3,800. Uh, Till then, I think wait and watch. It's a beautiful stock to keep it for a
Yes.
longer term. So you should definitely add when it comes down to around 3,800.
Okay, 3800 is an entry level, and it's absolutely right. Honda Power Products, for those with a little bit of history, these were the companies that were making the small gensets which you used to see kept outside of shops. And of course, one of their units was called Honda SIEL, which used to make that wonderful Honda car, but that's in a different subsidiary. Revenue is 923 crores, earnings is 91 crores over the last 12-month period. Let's take this conversation forward, this time on YouTube. Shrinika writes in and wants to chase momentum on Dixon Technologies. Now, this is a classic question from a retail investor. The counter is making repeated new highs, and such is the price point that you want to enter and buy it. Okay. In May, the counter was at 3,500 rupees, May 2023, and now we are at 15,250. Avni, do you want to chase momentum here?
Definitely, it's a very bad idea to chase momentum,
Yes.
but there are certain stocks wherein you have no option but to chase the momentum, else you are going to miss out. And Dixon is one of them. It's in a furious rally on the upside, good volumes whenever there are good days, green days for the stock. So it may probably not come down the way breakout has happened. The eventual target for the stock is around 15,800. So you can enter at current levels also, but just a small advice that probably you could keep around 70% quantity for current entry, and maybe 30% quantity if at all there is any kind of dip. Then you should keep some space to average it at lower levels of around 14,800. But do enter at current levels also because it may not come down.
Okay, okay, wonderful. I'll request the PCR to fire the long-term chart of CG Power. Avni, Mr. Anuj Singh writes to us that he has purchased 101 shares at 687, 647 in the early part of September. Now he wants to know whether he should book profit or hold the counter. He is really lucky into almost 200 rupees per share as profit, which is 20,000. Should he book some, exit it all? What should he do?
So, Shell, in this case, right from 8th of July 2024 till probably around 7th of October, the stock had been consolidating, and now it has broken out of that range. So, I think the new leg of rally has just started. You should still hold on to the stock and try to book it out somewhere around 915 levels. So, although good profits, because your the level that you picked up at has been very good, but still there's a lot of room on the upside.
Okay, fine. I'll request the PCR to fire the chart of Ashok Buildcon and Dilip Buildcon. This is Mr. Anush Patel writing in. Avni, he wants to know a 1 year view on Ashok Buildcon and Dilip Buildcon.
So ideally, if I have to select one of the two, I would go with Dilip Buildcon. That's got a better chart setup, and eventually, since you are looking at a 1 year time frame, this has more potential on the upside compared to Ashoka Buildcon.
Okay, so Dilip is better than Ashok, although both of them are in the same business. We have another question coming in from on Hero Motor Corporation, and Abhishek Kumar writes in. He wants to know whether at this level Hero Motors represents a good entry point or not. The stock has corrected fairly decently from 6200 all the way down to 5439. Avni, is there a possibility of a swing trade on the long side?
Absolutely, Shell. As a standard disclosure, I would say that we've recommended buying Hero Moto Corp today morning only. So, good stock to enter. It has seen a very good correction, and it's at the weekly support levels. So, a good entry point. Momentum will pick up only once it crosses around 5635 level. But till then, it may probably consolidate for some more time. But the trend is going to be upwards from here.
Okay, okay. So this is a good entry point, and of course, given the festivities around us, possibly you'll see better prices than at least 55.50 that is on the board. Bistikbala Aku wants to find out your view on NHPC Avni. The purchase price is 98 rupees and the quantity is 1500. So that's a easily 1.5 lakh rupee trade on NHPC. A bit of a loss here. Will it recoup?
So right now it's in a downtrend only, but the good part is in last 4 to 5 trading sessions, it has started consolidating, not made any new lows. So I think this consolidation phase will go on for some more time. You will have to hold it patiently. No need to exit at current levels. And if at all you're worried about more downside, you can keep a stop loss of 89 on the stock.
Okay, okay. So that's sensible. If you have 10% of your capital which has been taken out, then possibly it's the time to book a loss. But one thing I just like to add that in the last month of September, when there were very good monsoon rains, NHPC's power output came up dramatically, and maybe that is one reason you may want to hold on to the stock unless 89 is breached. Okay. Ratanindia Power, I'll request the PCR to fire this chart. We have a price of 16 rupees on Ratanindia Power, and it is Mr. Akreem Patel writing in from Bharuch, Gujarat. He's purchased 3500 shares of RTN Power at about the same price that we see, 16 rupees. Avni, what is your view on the stock? All time high is somewhere like 21, which we saw on 4th of June, and now 16?
So right now it's in a no trading zone. There's equal probability of the stock coming down to close to around 14.5. Or if at all you see an upward move from here, 17 is the resistance. So absolutely right in between. I think it's in a no trading zone. But yes, if at all it comes to 14.5, that will be a good level to average.
Okay, I'll request the PCR to show the longer term chart of RTN power, and you will realize as to why it is in a sideways zone. From June onwards, when we saw a high of about 21 rupees, the stock has done absolutely nothing for a period of 4 months, and that's the sideways zone that Avni is talking about. You can see the peak which was in June, 20 rupees 90 paisa, and from then on it's completely sideways, which essentially means that there is nothing to comment on the long or the short side. We now have Mr. Srinivas, WM Srinivas, and wants to know Tech Mahindra. What is the best price he can enter into Tech Mahindra? Avni, what is your view? This week, Tech Mahindra will be coming out of its earnings and 1688. Okay, this seems to be a record high. What are the charts telling you, Avni?
So Tech Mahindra has given a breakout today.
Yes.
1665 was a resistance, and on the lower band around 1580. So it has been consolidating for a very long time,
Yes,
almost
correct.
since August. So a good consolidation and then a breakout, which means there is a lot of upside in the stock. The stock should move up to 1750. Breakout has happened today, so I think it's a good entry point even now. And if at all there is any retracement, at the most it may come down to around 1670. So do not wait for any dips. I think it's you can straight away go and buy the stock.
Okay. The all time high was in December 2021, which was 1840 rupees. Given the momentum, let us see what happens. Avni's view is don't waste your breath, just buy. Okay. Mr. Anush Patel writes in about LIC Housing. I'll request the PCR to fire the long term chart of LIC Housing. He has 80 shares at 680 rupees, Avni, and he wants to know whether what is the level on which he should average the stock.
Yes, so 595 is the level where you should be averaging. That will be the previous breakout level from where the stock started rallying. It entered a new leg of rally. It may retrace back to that level. Currently, from a short term perspective, it's in a downtrend, and 595 may be tested. That will be a good level to average.
Okay. So if it comes down to 595, then you know what to do. This is a slightly difficult question, Avni, and comes in from Mr. Abhishek Jha. He wants to know amongst 4 stocks, which is Indian Oil Corporation, ONGC, Tata Power and Power Grid. Choose one which you think is the best for the long term, and also suggest an entry level. It's a very difficult one. It's a very difficult choice to make.
Yes, when it comes to all these 4 stocks, all 4 are pretty good.
Yes.
But I would stick to ONGC. ONGC has seen a very good correction in the recent times.
Correct.
And a good consolidation in last I think 10 to 12 sessions.
Yeah.
So if at all there has to be a move, and from a longer perspective also, I think ONGC is the best bet out of all the 4 stocks.
Even fundamentally, ONGC ranks a bit higher than the 4 that the other 3 that you mentioned, but it's a very difficult question, Mr. Jha. I'm sure Avni's used a lot of our cerebral inputs to choose ONGC, but the choice between Power Grid and Tata Power and IOC and ONGC is really very difficult, but hers is a very wise choice, ONGC. Please go for that. Okay, let us see some other questions that have come in. This is Jigna writing in from Mumbai and wants your view on Cipla. 200 shares have been purchased at 1700 rupees. The chart is right there in front of you. Most recently there was a record high, and as bad luck would have it, Jigna has chosen the peak. 1700 रुपये पे जो 200 शेयर का ट्रांजैक्शन हुआ है वो जिग्ना जी का ही हुआ है.
Yes. So Cipla, I would say even I have been caught on the wrong foot. I was positive at around 1630, but it has broken that support level also. And until and unless we see any green shoots in the stock, I would avoid going long in this particular stock. Even I would advise against averaging at current levels, because still the downward trend has not reversed. So there has to be some consolidation, no new lows for at least 3 to 4 days in a row. Then we can think of buying the stock. So as of now, just avoid. If you're already holding, you are in loss, I think hold it patiently. Fundamentally, the company is good, but let this temporary phase pass.
Okay. Jigna ji, one piece of advice is that please, it's very difficult not to chase momentum, but when you see a stock hitting a record high, that is not the day to buy. If you can sort of hold back after 2-3 days, even if you see your purchase was probably done on 9th of October, and it's a fabulous company which you have purchased at the wrong price. So that is a big pain that retail investors face, and you may want to book a loss, but don't do that. Just hang on, and hopefully you will see better prices coming in. Okay. We have Mr. Sandeep Thakur from Dioghar. He's purchased GTPL Hathway 200 shares at 180. GTPL Hathway at 180, 200 shares. Okay, it's at a loss. Avni, what would you suggest?
So it's in a downtrend. I would suggest keep a stop loss over 155, because that's the 200-day exponential moving average on the weekly charts, and the stock has been holding on to that level. But if at all that level is breached, then we may see a further downside right up to 104. So do maintain a strict stop loss at 155.
Okay, perfect. And the most important question comes from Mr. Sandeep Pancharia. Avni, you will appreciate this one. For the festival season, he wants to know whether he should buy TBZ or any other jewellery stock. We'll wait for Avni to sort of reconnect. TBZ, ladies and gentlemen, is India's very well known jewellery brand chain called Tribhuvan Das Jhaveri. The stock has been doing pretty well over the last 6 months or so, as have been all jewellery stocks. Tribhuvan Das Jhaveri is now trading at 284 rupees, all time high is 355, and would you believe it, on 7th of June the counter was at 104 rupees. So a very sharp rally has happened, not only in TBZ but also in stocks such as Senco, of course counters such as Goldiam International, and to some extent even Titan. Senco, SENCO, the price would be somewhere like 1300-1400 rupees, maybe even above 1500. So we'll wait for Avni to come in. Okay, fine. With that, ladies and gentlemen, what I suggest, Mr. Pancharia, is that you write to us tomorrow, but for the moment I think Avni cannot be reconnected because of some technical issues at our end. What we will also do is draw the curtains on this show, but we'll be back with you tomorrow. So till that time, ladies and gentlemen, remain glued to Business Today Television. There's a lot that's happening on the other side of the break. Thank you so much for writing in at YouTube and of course on our WhatsApp channel. Have a nice day.
This is the Asus VivoBook S OLED, a new 15-inch